We're beginning our discussion focusing on some questions that are very easy and some questions that are a bit technical. And so here we go. These are multiple choice questions. So write down the letter of the correct answer next to the question number. Right. So, for example, if you look, let me give an example here. Right. So I'm giving an example. The example is that if you look at the two numbers, there is a number 2 and the number 2. The number 2 is actually equal to the number 2. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, and you can hear me as well. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you, Lindsay. Right. I was saying here is the example. The first point is that the number 2 equals itself. 2 equals 2. That's obvious. But if we decide to take the number 2 and divide it by 5, and then take the number 2 and divide it by 3, which which number is bigger than the other and which one is smaller than the other and why? So the question becomes, what sign do we put here? Do we put this one, number 1? Number 2, do we put that one? Number 3, do we put that one? So we have the 3 options here that we can choose from. Okay, right. So this is what we have. Right. So what do we do? Right.
Um,
Yeah. So in the end, now we are comparing these two fractions. The number 2 equals the number 2, but here we divide by a bigger number. Here we divide by a smaller number. And so what is 2 divided by 5? You'll agree that it's 0,
it's
0,4. Right. So because you say 5 goes how many times into 2? It goes 0 times. And you put a comma, and then you put a small 0 there. And you say 20 divided by 5 is 4. 2 divided by 3 is 0. And then you put a 0, making it 20. 3 divided by 20, it goes 6 times, etc. And you can see, therefore, that 0, 0,6 is certainly bigger than 0, 0,4. Correct. Right. So this is just an example. Here is the question that is exam type. So this is typical exam. Right. So if you look at this, which fraction is the smallest? We're looking at 1.1. Which fraction is the smallest? Right. So we're looking at um 1/2, 1/12, 1/4, 1/6. Which one is the smallest one? So in other words, the smallest one is because the numerators are all the same. They are one, they are the number 1, but the denominators are different. So in other words, the smallest one is the one that is divided by the biggest denominator. Right, it's the one that is divided by certainly the biggest or the largest denominator. Okay, right. So which one? Which one is the biggest denominator here? Is it the denominator 2 or 12 or 4 or 6? What do you think?
nominated 12.
Denominator 12. And therefore, now if we ask which one is the smallest one, so the smallest one is 1/12. Right. Okay, these are worksheets. They are worksheets. And what does it mean to speak of a worksheet? So we work together. Um, right. So I will always bring you because I don't want these to be a one-man show because I'm doing simultaneously teaching and assessment. Right. So if you look at 1.2, you have this question. What do you think the answer is to 1.2? Okay.
Is it equal to 5?
Yes, it is equal to 5. Correct. So because you have 36 minus 11. What is 36 minus 11? It's 25. Right. Do you agree? Okay, because if you have these numbers here, and you take the number 36, you subtract 11, you get 25, and therefore the square root of 25, because 25 is 5 times 5, and it can be written as 5 squared. The square root removes the square in the following manner, because the square root is the same as the power 1/2. So 2 cancels 2, and if 2 cancels 2, you have the power 1, and that is 5. Just to mention, so the correct answer to this one is actually equal to 5. Now we have 1.3. I said these are worksheets, so we are working together. 12,367 rounded off to the nearest 100 is what? What do you think of 1.3? What do you think of 1.3?
To the nearest 12,400.
It is exactly 12,400. Well done. So the correct option is D. So in other words, at this point, you round off the 367. Obviously, to the nearest 100 is just 67 is closer to 100, making it 300 plus 100, which is 400. So we have that. Next. Convert this one into a mixed fraction. Let's convert this one into a mixed fraction. You have your book there. You need to have a book, you need to have a pen to scribble, okay? Because to make sure that when I give you these exercises, you can attempt them during our discussion. Like 1.4, looking at 1.4, we need to convert this into a mixed fraction. Right, so obviously we remember there are some examples of mixed fractions. Right, what are mixed fractions? Okay. Like 2 and 1/3 is a mixed fraction. What is this equal to? 2 by 3. What is 2 times 3? It's 6 plus 1,
6.
7 out of 3. So this is what we get. So if you have 8 and 2 over 3, what is 8 by 3?
24.
24. Right, 24 plus 2 is 26 out of 3. Okay, so convert this one to a mixed fraction. What is that one to a mixed fraction? Your thought, please. Giving you about a minute to try that one. Yeah, okay, when you're done, please let me know. Right, what do you think? Is the answer is to this one?
I think it is B.
You think it is B? That is question 1.4. Okay, never mind. Right, so let's look at it together because we are practicing here and I want to make sure that Lindsay practices with me. Right, first and foremost, we're going to say 6 Gauss-Amend times into this. So Now to get the correct answer to this, you need to start by saying 6 is equal to 6. Then 2 times 6 is equal to 12. So you start with the denominator, you multiply it repeatedly. Right, so start with 6, the denominator. The denominator equals itself. 2 times 6 is 12. 3 times 6 is what? It's exactly 18. 4 times 6 is what? It's 24. It therefore means that 6 goes how many times into 21. So in other words, you can see that it cannot go 4 times because it goes 4 times into 24, but into 18 it goes how many times? 3 times. So obviously this is going to be actually 3, and the remainder is what there? Is 3 out of 6. Right, so let's see what you're getting in 1.4. And so this is exactly what you get. And obviously it looks exactly like, what did you think it was?
6, 6, 1/2. Yeah, B.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. All right, so yeah, because I'm just doing it now here. Okay, 3 goes how many times into 6? It goes twice and it goes once there. So this is 3 and 1/2. So obviously 21 out of 6. 3 goes how many times? It goes 7, it goes twice. Okay, so you have this. 3 goes how many times into that? Goes 7, it goes twice. So the correct answer obviously is the option D. Right, it is the option D. Next question. Okay, let's look at 1.5. In 1.5, we effectively are then saying 4 into this equals what? Let's look at 1.5. What do you think the correct answer is? Then we shall do corrections.
So I think it is D.
You think it is D? That's fine. So we are practicing here, and I'm trying to make sure that you are at the level of assessment the exam requires. So there's something we call the distributive law. Okay, so you have 4 into 5 plus 2. You distribute 4 times 5, 4 times 2. This is called the distributive law, right? In which case you can put parentheses around each one of the terms, right? So, right, the question then becomes, which one is the same as these? 4 times 5 plus 4 times 2. Let's see. 4 times 5 plus 4 times 2. Okay, the rest are different. So the correct answer must be, obviously, must be, I'm sure you can see the correct answer in 1.5. It must be option A. The distributive law can be stated as follows. A into B plus C is exactly the same as A times B plus A times C. That is the distributive law. So if you have A into B plus C, it is A times B plus A times C. That is the answer. Okay, so making the option. But now this is the distributive law, where we say it is actually distribution from the left, but there's also distribution from the right. So you can have also B plus A, or B, you can say B plus C, that's fine. B plus C times A. So in other words, you can distribute, in which case, therefore, the A multiplies the B, but it also multiplies the what? The C. So you'd have B times A plus C times A. Okay. So now, if you look at 1.6, right, the sum here. the sum. The sum of these equals what? Is it A or B or C or D? What is your thought, please, on this one?
Is it B?
Well done. It is option B. Right, it is option B because you're just adding these numbers up. So obviously to add, we start from the end. And if we start from the end, you have these. So you start from the end, you have a 5. And then you have a 7. Because 3 plus 2 is 5. 1 plus 6 is 7. 3 plus that is another 5. Then 6 plus 1 is 7. Then 3 plus 2 is 5. So obviously, well done there. And the correct option is option B. Right, we are doing exam preparations at the moment. 1.7. In the number 7 cubed, 7 cubed, the number 7 is a what? In the number
Base.
7 cubed, the number 7 is a what? What do you think?
A base.
The number 7 in 1.7, it is, well done, a base. Right, what about the number 3? What is it called?
An exponent.
It is called an exponent. It is called an exponent. The number what is an example of an even prime number? Which one? The number what is an example of an even prime number? Okay. Think about this. Is it the number 4? Is it 6? Is it 2? Is it 7? Which one is an example of what we call an even prime number? Which one? Which one is an even prime number among those? Is it 4? Is it 6? Is it 2? Is it 7? What's your thought?
I think it, 4.
Okay. That's fine. We are practicing here. Okay, let's list prime numbers. What are prime numbers in mathematics? Let's list them. Right, there are numbers that are called prime numbers. There are numbers that are called odd numbers. There are numbers that are called even numbers. What are prime numbers? Prime numbers start from 2. 2, 3. You jump 4. Because the number 4, the prime numbers must be divisible by 1 and themselves only, with no remainder. So 4 is not a prime number. 5 is a prime number because if you factorize these 5, you write it as prime factors, it's only 5 times 1. 6 is not a prime number because 6 is 2 times 3 as well, okay? But 7 is a prime number. 8 is not because 8 is 2 times 2 times 2. 9 is not because it's 3 times 3. 10 is not because it's 5 times 2. 11 is prime. Okay, these are some of the prime numbers. What are odd numbers? Odd numbers are, we start from the odd number 1. The next odd number, what is an odd number? A number is odd if, yes, what do you think? Yes, what do you think an odd number is?
A number that cannot be halved.
Yes, a number that cannot be halved. I like that. A number that cannot be halved. A number that cannot be halved, right? So like 1, 3, right. You have, because 2 is not, then you have 3, 4 is not, you have 5, 6 is not, you have 7, 8 is not, 9 is, 10 is not, 11 is, 12 is not, 13 is. Okay, even here, when you come here, 12 is not, you have 13, and so on. Okay, what is the difference between prime numbers and odd numbers? Okay, we shall look at the difference. Right, and how these two sets, these are sets, the set of prime numbers and the set of odd numbers. You have also the even numbers. What is the set of even numbers? What are the even numbers? Right, so even numbers are the numbers, for example, what? Right, the number 0 is the smallest even number. The next number is t. Then you counter the multiples of what? The multiples of 2. Right. So you have 2, you have 4, you have 6, you have 8. Right. You have 10. You just keep adding 2 all the time. Correct. Okay. So these are the even numbers. So now tell me now, what is the difference in your opinion, in your point of view? What is the difference between prime numbers and odd numbers? How are prime numbers different from odd numbers? How? Your thought, please. Because now, if you look at the prime number, for instance, you have 3 is prime, but also 3 is odd. 5 is prime, but it's also odd. 7 is prime, but it's also odd. What is the difference between prime and odd?
Prime numbers are only cannot be multiplied more than once. It's only the only number that goes into prime numbers is 1 and 5, the number itself.
Yes. So the prime numbers are those numbers that are only divisible by 1 and themselves. Okay, so the prime numbers are these, like the number 3 is only 3 times 1. The number 3 is only 3 times 1. The number 7 is only 7 times 1. So just note that. Now, the number what is an example of an even prime number. So which answer do you think then is correct here?
2.
Is the number 2. Because it is an even number, but it is also prime. These are the even numbers because this has 2 properties. It's an even prime number. Even is 2, 4, 6, and so on, beginning from 0. Prime, 2 is a prime number. It's the smallest prime number because it can be written as 2 times 1. So, yeah, the number 2 is actually an example of an even prime number. Next question. 1.9. 30% of 50 equals what? Is it A or B or C or D? Which one? Your thoughts, please. Because these are worksheets once again, so we're working together.
Is it A?
Is it A? Let's check together very, very carefully. Is it A in 1.9? Very well done. Because now when you speak about 30%, 30% of 50, it becomes 30 divided by 100. Percent means per 100. Then you multiply by the 50, like this. So this is exactly that. Because if you look at the rest now, here they've put 100 on top. Here they have actually put 3 on top. Here they've put 300 and divided by 10. So the correct answer is A. Next question. Right, looking at mathematics in detail for grade 7. Writing numbers in ascending order means what? To write the numbers from biggest to smallest, to write the numbers from top to bottom, to write the numbers from smallest to biggest, to write the numbers from bottom to top. Which one?
C, to divide the numbers from smallest to biggest.
Well done, Lindsay. Okay, that's excellent stuff. Right, in 1.10 is the option C, from smallest to biggest. That means it is the ascending order or increasing order. Increasing order. In question 2, we have a measuring beaker. Which number on the measuring beaker is in the incorrect? Okay, so we're looking for what we call the incorrect place. Incorrect place, looking at this measuring beaker. In 2.1, okay, yeah. Let me give you some 1 minute. It's just 1 mark, obviously. Which number on the measuring beaker? This is called a measuring beaker because it is calibrated. It is marked in terms of the volume of the substance that it actually can contain, even up to the recommended capacity. And so which number on the measuring beaker is in the incorrect place? Your thought, please.
It's 1,500.
Well done. It is exactly that number there. The number 1,500 is actually in the incorrect place. So the correct answer here is actually 1,500 milliliters. Milliliters, because the calibration is actually in milliliters. Okay. So we continue. We continue.
On 8 p.m. because I have load shedding classes.
Right. What number is exactly in the middle between 300 and 350? Show all your calculations.
Is
So,
it
yeah.
is it 225?
Okay, well done. Well done. Well done. Yes, definitely. So to get the number in the middle, what we do is we take the number 300, we add it to the number 350, we divide by what? By 2. What is 300 plus 350? Is actually
600.
650. You divide by 2. Right, if you divide 650 by 2, you get 325. So what number is exactly right? What number is exactly there? Right. Write down the multiples of 12 and 15. Then determine the lowest common multiple of the two numbers. Okay, let's write the multiples. So the multiples of 12, you're going to start with 12. Then you add, you get 24. You add, you get 36. You add, you get 48. You add, you get 60. You have 72, and so on. Then you have 15. You add 15, you get 30. You add, you get 45. You add, you get 50, 60. You add, you get 75. You add, you get 80, 90. You add, you get 105, and so on. Right, because they said write down the multiples of 12 and 15, and we've done that. So these are of 12, and the bottom ones are of 15. Determine the lowest common multiple of the two numbers. Which one do you think is the lowest common multiple of the two numbers?
Is it 60?
That's a good question. So yes, clearly the lowest and common is the number 60. So we'll say the LCM. The LCM is actually 60. Okay, we continue right now. Simplify the ratio 300 to 210. Simplify the ratio 300 to 210. I'm giving you like 2 minutes. It's 2 marks. What do you think the simplified ratio is? What do you think the simplified ratio is? What do you think the simplified ratio is? Okay. All right. Okay. Let me know when you're done, please. Okay. Let me know when you're done, please.
Is it 75 and
That's fine. Right, so we have 300 to 210. So now because each one has a 0 at the end. So you can say this one divide by 10 and that you divide by 10. So if you divide by 10, it's going to take a single 0 and this is going to remove 1 0. And then it is 30 and 21. And then now you continue because now you can see that this one is divisible by 3. So if you divide by 3 here, you divide by 3 there. And then now 3 goes how many times into 30? 10 times. 21 divided by 3 is the number 7. Okay, so this is exactly the simplified ratio. So you need to simplify the ratio. The answer is exactly 10:7. Let me give you another example. If they say simplify the ratio, 2,6 to 2,0. What is the answer to this? And the question is simplify the ratio. Simplify the ratio. What do you think? Ordinarily, the simplified ratio must be the ratio of integers. What are integers? What are integers? Integers, yes. What do you think integers are? What are they?
Negative.
-3, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, and so on. These are called what? They're called integers. We call them integers. Okay. Now, and we write the set like that one, Z. And yeah, okay, let's answer this question, please. What is this one? Simplified ratio, this one. What is it? With 2.6 is 2.6, this one. What is the, what do you think that simplified ratio is?
I'm struggling a bit because we haven't simplified ratios yet.
Oh, okay, that's fine. Right, so to simplify the ratio here, you need to look at the fact that if it is a decimal fraction, you need to say the decimal, this is one decimal place. There's one decimal digit after the comma, there's one decimal digit, right? So you have this one times 10 is to 2,0 times 10, which is equal to, so you move the decimal comma once, okay, which is 26. And then now it is 2 here. Now then each one is an even number. So you divide 26 by 2, you divide 2 by 2. What is 26 divided by 2? It's 13 and 1. So the answer is 13 and 1. 13 is to 1 is the ratio. 13 is to 1 is the ratio. Let me give another example of the simplification of ratios. Right, simplify the ratio. Simplify the ratio. Right, simplify the ratio. Um, three comma 8 to 2 or to 12. 3,8 to 12. What is this simplified ratio? I'm giving you like a minute. What do you think the answer is to that one? What do you think the answer is to that one?
So,
What do you think the answer is to this?
is it 916?
Let's check. Okay, you might be right. Okay, one decimal comma, one decimal point, this one, or to one decimal place. So you need to take this one here. And you move the decimal point. To move the decimal point, you must multiply by 10. but also you must multiply the 12 by 10. Okay, the one decimal place, this is going to move and it's going to become 38. And this is going to become 120. So this one here, you can divide 38 by 2, and you can divide 120 by 2. What is 38 divided by 2, for example? It is 17. 120 divided by 2 is what? It's 60. And now this is exactly the answer to this. So it is that one. So it is 17 to 60. That is the simplified ratio. Okay. So we are practicing and learning more mathematics. Next point. Okay. The next story is about Susan. 2.5. Susan traveled on a journey at an average speed of 65 kilometers per hour and drove a distance of 650 kilometers. Calculate in hours the time it took for Susan to travel on her journey. 2 marks. I'm giving you like 2 minutes. I want to see how well you can do this question about Susan. 2.5. 2.5. Susan. Susan. Let me know when you're done, please.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. All right, I done.
Is it 65 hours?
Okay, let's see. That's okay. We're practicing. We are practicing. Right, so you need to know the triangle here. There's a triangle you need to know like this. And you need to know that speed, right, is equal to distance divided by time. So speed equals distance divided by time. So now here you'd come and then say, what do they want here? They want time. Calculate in hours the time. So if you want time, then you need to realize that at this point, your time is equal to distance over speed. Time equals distance over speed. What is the distance? Susan traveled on a journey, right, at an average speed of these. So this one is the speed, and the distance is this one. So the distance is 650 kilometers, and the speed is 65 kilometers per hour. So you perform division. What is this? What is 650 divided by 65? It is exactly 10. The kilometers cancel, these kilometers cancel, and then this per hour becomes hours. So that the time is 10 hours. Now, I want us to practice this because it's a very important, but at high school, grade 8, you will meet a lot of these, but also Even grade 10, you'll meet a lot of these. Now, I want you to give the formula for speed, the formula for time, and the formula for distance from the triangle. What is the formula for speed from the triangle? What is speed from the triangle?
Speed, is it,
Oh. Okay, because when you want speed, this is speed. So speed equals what? Equals distance over time. Okay, so in other words, speed equals distance over time. What is time? What is the time formula from the triangle?
um,
Time is equal to what?
is it,
Okay, so you can see that time from the triangle, time is distance over speed. Time is distance over speed. What is distance?
how
Distance,
far you travel?
yeah, so distance is speed times time. Distance is speed times what? Times time. Right. So yeah, this is just the formulas, so we'll practice them. Okay, I'm gonna give you some exercises on these. 3.1, let's do some exponential forms. Right, like 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. What is the answer? In exponential form, what do you think the answer is?
Two to the power of 5.
Well done, 2 to the power of 5, because this is to the power 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So it is 2 to the power of 5. 2 to the power of 5. Calculate the following. 2 to the power 3 times 3 squared. What is 2 to the power of 3?
To the power of 3 is 2 times 2 times 2.
Yeah, so we need to calculate. So 2 times 2 times 2, 3 times, and the answer is?
8.
Well done, it is 8. What about 3 squared? What is 3 squared?
It's 9.
It's 9, because it's 3 times 3, right? Okay, so obviously 3 squared is the same as 3 by 3. Power 1, power 1. And 3 by 3 is 9. 8 by 9. What is 8 times 9?
72.
Well done. Right, so, but if you look at some of the numbers, like, what is the square root of 25 minus the cube root of 8? What do you think? Okay, to get this one here, you need to do this. You need to say 25 is 5 squared minus, okay? Because obviously you guys are still in grade 7, so you don't need to learn, you don't need to use calculators. So you put here 3. The square root removes the square, this one. Because if there's nothing here, in mathematics, it means there's an invisible 2. So the square root removes 2, giving 5. The cube root removes 3, giving only that. So what is 5 minus 2? It is 3. So the answer is exactly 3 there. Let me give you another exercise on this. Calculate. Calculate. Write the square root of 36 minus the cube root of the cube root of Right. I'm putting that for, yeah, 27 here. What do you think the answer is to this question? I'm giving you like the same amount of time, like 2 minutes. What do you think the answer is? Because here we looked for the number that you can multiply with itself to get 25. The number here we looked for the number we could multiply with itself to get 25. And you realize that it is the number 5. And therefore 5 times 5 is equal to what? It's equal to 25.
25.
Yes. So what number do you multiply with itself to get 36? There's a certain number that
18.
okay, you think about it. You multiply with itself. You multiply with itself.
Isn't it 18 times 2?
Yes, it is correct, but the thing is that 18 and 2 are not the same number. Okay. So but we know that 6 times 6 is equal to 36. So which means therefore if you look at 36 is like 6 by 6. Okay. And then now you go to the cube root. This one is 3 by 3 by 3. So the cube root means you look for a number you can multiply with itself 3 times. So 6 by 6 is the same as 6 squared. And this is 3 cubed. The square root removes the square, giving only 6. The cube root removes the cube, the power 3, leaving us with the base. And 6 minus 3 becomes what? Becomes exactly 3. Now, if I say to you another example, calculate. The square root of 49 minus the fourth root of 16.
What is the fourth root?
Okay, what is the fourth root? Yeah, by the fourth root, we mean that there's a number that you multiply with itself 4 times to get 16. That is the fourth root. Like here, what number do you multiply with itself 3 times to get 27? What number? Because this means you multiply the number 3 times, okay? This means you multiply the number how many times? 3 times. So the number you multiply with itself 3 times to get 27, it is 3 because 3 times 3 times 3 is what? Is 27. And that is the cube root of 27. The cube root of 27 is the number. So you multiply the number 3 times. What number is it? It is the number 3. If there's no number here, it means it's a square root. It means you're dealing with what? With the square root. So this one here is called the fourth root. The fourth root. This one is called the square root. Right. So you have something like that. So here for the square root, we looked for the number that you can multiply with itself 2 times. Square means 2 times. Square 2 times. So you look for a number you can multiply 2 times with itself to get 36. And the number was like 6 by 6 because 6 by 6 is 36. What number do you multiply with itself to get 49? So you need to remember your multiplication table now. You need to remember your multiplication table. Because obviously at this point, we don't even allow you to use calculators, because you are still in primary. calculators will be very illegal because we are still expecting you guys to learn the mathematics first. Otherwise, then it will be disaster. What is the square root of 49?
Is it
In other words, what number do you multiply with itself 2 times to get 49? There's a number that you can just say that number times itself is 49. Like the number 9 there's a number that you can multiply with itself to get 9. It is 3 times 3, isn't it? 3 times 3 is 9.
9?
There's a number you can multiply with itself to get 9, yes. The number you can multiply with itself to get 100. What number can multiply with itself to get 25? The number can multiply with itself to get 25. What is that number?
Is it 7?
Yes, it is 7. Okay, well done there. So obviously here it then becomes 7 times 7 because 7 times 7 is 49. So obviously we're dealing with numbers here, multiplying them. When you're multiplying the numbers, it's very important that you just bring that multiplication table back from grade 4. You know, from grade 3, grade 4, you remember it. Right, so now here you have 16. Now this is the 4th root because there's a 4 here. 4th root. So it means there's a number you can multiply with itself a certain number of times to get 16. What number do you multiply with itself to get 16? 4 times. There's a number that multiply itself 4 times to get 16. That number, you just say this times that, times that, times that, and you get 16. But it's the
Is
same
it 4?
number.
Oh.
Please come again.
4?
4. Okay, but 4 you're going to multiply with itself only 2 times because it's only 4 times 4, 2 times you get 16. But one the number can
Oh.
multiply 4 times to get 16. Right, obviously you agree that it's the number 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. What is 2 times 2?
4?
Times 2
8?
times 2.
16.
Well done. Okay, we're practicing, remember? So at this point, this is then 7 squared minus the 4th root of these to the 4th power. What is the square root of these? The square root removes a square. The square root removes a square, giving 7. The 4th root removes the power 4, giving us 2. What is 7 minus 2? It is 5. Okay, so we're just practicing roots here. We're here to spend time on the roots. Okay, so we're here to spend a lot of time on the roots. So stay tuned. Stay put. The roots are still coming. The roots are here. View. No, I don't want the view yet. I want the pen. And then I adjust here. Okay, now we did some of the questions like this one. We did this one. In 3.2.6, what do you think the answer is? I'm giving you like 2 minutes because it's like 2 marks.
Is it 20?
Okay, let's check together. So obviously at this point, we are doing division. So it is 5 cubed divided by 5 squared. So now here, when you multiply, there's a law in mathematics. that we can use to calculate these here. Okay, 5 cubed is the same as 5 times 5 times 5 3 times, which is what? 125. 5 squared is the same as 5 times 5. What is 5 times 5? It's 25.
25.
Then you multiply by 4. Okay, this is what we get.
And it's
Then, if you divide here, 25 goes how many times into 125?
5 times.
Right? How many times do you think it goes there?
5
5 times. 5 times. Okay, good. So you have exactly 5 times there. By 4. What is 5 by 4?
20.
A big 20. Right. I'm giving you 2 minutes to try the question on Jackson. Jason, 3.3. Try Jason, please.
I can't see the full question.
Okay. What about now?
Okay, I can see now.
Okay, yeah, because I'm talking about these 3.3. We're doing this one. Are you able to see it now? I need to make sure you're able to see the full question.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you.
Sixteen. Is the answer 16?
All right, let's just try it. Let's just try it. Well done. It is 16. Because Jason packs a box of truffles. The box contains 4 truffles. In each row, there are 4 rows. How many truffles are there? In each row, there are basically how many rows? 4 rows. So the box
4.
contains, yeah, 4 truffles. In each row, there are 4 rows. So after to get how many truffles are in the box, you just say 4 truffles by 4 rows. And what is 4 by 4? It's like 4 squared, because to the power 1, you add 1 plus 1, you get 2. And then 4 squared is what? Is 16 truffles. 16 truffles. Next question. Right, calculate and show all your calculations. Now, this one is 4 marks. 2 and 1/3 plus 3 and 7/15 minus 1 and 2/5. What's the answer? Your thought. Let me know when you're done, please.
Almost done.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's fine. Please let me know when you're
Is
done.
it- Okay, so is it 7/5?
It's a good question, Evie. Is it 7 out of 5 or not? Right. Let's do it together. So, are you able to see the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Right. So what you need to look for is the LCM. Here, there is the number 15. So you must make this one 15, but you must also make this one 15. So you have 1 out of 3, and then you multiply these by. So you can multiply this one by 5 out of 5. Right, like that. And then plus 3, you have 7 out of 15, you keep this one. Minus 1, 2 out of 5. And you have 3 out of 5. Because 3 by 5 is exactly 15. So 5 by 1 is 5 out of 15 plus 3. 7 out of 15 minus 1. 2 by 3 is 6 out of 15. So we continue. We continue. So now at this point, what you're getting is that you take these numbers and you add them up. So when you add these numbers up, what do you get actually? You add the 2, and then you add the 3, and then you subtract 1, and then you add the 5 out of 15, and then you add the 7 out of 15, and then you subtract here the 6 out of 15. So what is 2 plus 3? Is 5 minus 1? 4. And then here you have the denominator is 15, everything. 5 plus 7 is what? It's actually 12. 12 minus 6 is what?
6.
It's actually 6 out of 15, which is 6 out of 15. So that is the answer. But obviously you can simplify this because 3 goes how many times into 6? You can divide by 3. 3 divides, so that is 2. And 3 divides, which is 5. So you can write it as 3. So we have 2 out of 5. Okay, this is the simplest answer. So calculate and show all your calculations. So this is a sort of calculation. But you need to realize that because these things are going to come in the exam, that if you have 2 and 1/3, you have 7 and that and 7/15. So you have 2 over 5, and you then get that one. Right. So we get the answer. Next question, look at 4.2. Determine the value of 3 over 7 of 350 grams for 3 marks. What do you think the answer is? Let me know what you think.
No.
Okay, so let me know what you think. Okay, let me know when you're done, please.
Um,
You done already?
mm, almost.
Don't worry.
Is it 150?
Is it 150? Well, let's check together. Well done. It's 150 because you have 3 out of 7 times 350 grams. Okay, because the minute they say the value of this of that off means what? Multiplication. Right, so obviously you're able to get that one right. So which means that at this point, what you have is this 350 is out of 1. So it is 3 times 350. Are you able to see?
Yes, sir.
Okay, 7 times 1. 3 times 350 is 1050 over 7. Dividing this is 150 grams. 150 what? Grams. And this is the answer. And this is the answer. So if you need to determine the value of that, the answer is 150 grams. Right, next question. 4.3, calculate the percentage decrease if the price of a sponge cake was 40 Rand and is now 32 Rand. What do you think the answer is? Are you able to see the question? Please let me know if you can't see the question.
Not clearly. No.
Okay,
And
yeah, let me just clean it. Let me just clean up. Let me just clean up. Right, let me just clean up. Right. Mm. Are you able to see it now?
yes, sir.
Okay. Because we're doing 4.3. Calculate the percentage decrease if the price of a sponge cake was 40 Rand and is now 32 Rand. What is the percentage decrease?
have something magical for you. Nonetheless, inflation. Nonetheless,
Let me know when you're done. All right.
Is the answer
Then
is it 40, is it 42 percent?
all right, let's do the percentage decrease together. For the percentage decrease, the percentage decrease is the same as, right, obviously now we need to calculate the percentage decrease if the price of sponge cake was 40 Rand and is now 32 Rand. So the price sort of decreased. So in other words, you have 40 Rand minus 32 Rand divided by the old price. You divide by the old price because it was 40 Rand before, now it's 32. Divide by the old price and then you multiply by 100 and use a calculator, because if you have these, what is 400 minus 32? Is 8. 8 times 100 is 800 over 40. What is 800 over 40? It's 20%. So the percentage decrease is actually 20%. So note that. Okay, so it's something that you need to realize. Okay, so there's a formula for calculating the percentage decrease. For in mathematics, we say that the percentage decrease, right, percentage decrease is equal to initial value minus the final value divided by the initial value. Okay, so that is what? we get. Right. Okay, so yeah, that is the answer. So the answer is 20%. So percentage decrease is this one. The initial value minus the final value divided by the initial value. Okay, so that's something you actually obviously need to realize there in the right. So we continue. Okay, so that's the answer. All right, let's move on. Question 5 is beautiful and a little bit smarter. Are you able to see question 5?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. Complete the number pattern 0.25, 0.5, 0.75. What do you think the completed pattern is?
1 and then 1.25.
All right, it's like you're just so much on point. Let's check your reasoning, obviously, here. Um, that is exactly in 5.1. Right, in 5.1. Let's see what you're getting there. Right, obviously you need to complete that one. What did you get it to be? You need to just put two of the numbers. So now you just add 0.25, right? So if you add 0.25, what do you get here?
Get 1.
Well done. It is 1. Then after that, 1.25. Okay. So that is, and obviously here it's 1, but yeah, you can write it as 1.00. Just because it's two decimal places, or it's 2 digits after the comma. So yeah, you can have that. All right, let's look at 5.2. Calculate the following and show all your calculations. So right, 3 plus 0.025, what's the answer?
Is it 0.028?
Okay, that's fine. What you need to do here is you need to take the number 3 and add it to 0.025. And then how many decimal places here? 3 of them. Okay, then you add them like this. That is what we mean by showing your calculations. So you add 0 plus 5. You get 5. 0 plus 2, 2. 0 plus 0 is 0. 3 plus 0 is 3. Then this is the answer. So the answer here is 3.025. Okay? Are you able to see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is what we mean by showing all your steps. Showing all your steps. Okay, showing all your steps is what we do. Clear, right? So you did this addition in lower primary because now you are in higher primary. Right, let me just clean up a little bit so that you can see everything very well. Right, so we're good. Now let's look at 5.2.2, this one. What's the answer to that one? Calculate the following and show all your calculations. In 5.2.2, we are saying 4,416 divided by 4. What's the answer? Okay, for 2 marks, you need to show all your calculations. Please let me know what your thought is. Let me know what your thought is.
Does the decimal command move to the left or to the right when we divide?
That's a good question. Does it move to the left or to the right when you divide? So when you divide, you are making the number smaller. And when you actually make the number smaller, the decimal pointer will tend to move towards the left. Because if it moves to the right, it moves to the right when you're multiplying. When you are multiplying, the decimal point moves to the right. But when you're dividing, it moves to the left. Okay. Right. Let me know when you're done, please.
Um, um, I think I'm struggling a bit.
That's okay. That's okay. We are practicing here. We are practicing. So I'm going to take you back to grade 4. Mentally, I'm going to take you back to grade 4. And this is what you need to remember. These are the things that are going to come in the exam. So you have 4,416 divided by 4. So what you need to do is to divide like this. Right, and then you put 4,416 here, you divide by 4. 4 divided by 1. 4 divided by 4 is 1. 4 by 1. 4 by 1 is actually 4. Then you balance with zeros here because under each one of them. Then you put a negative here. 4 minus 4 is what? Is 0. And then now you don't write that 0 because it doesn't change anything. 4 minus 0, you have 4. You write 1 digit at a time. You write 1 digit at a time. If need to be, you can just write 1 digit at a time, it's fine. So now, obviously, when you have these, you can even write the other 0 there. And say 4 divided by 4, you have 1. 4 by 1 is 4. You put a minus. 4 minus 4 is what? Right, so you subtract 4 and 4, you get a 0. You remember what you had there? You had 1 and 16. And then you say, you continue with the process. You say 1 divided by 4 is 0. 4 by 0 is 0. Right, so you have exactly that. Okay, but now let me actually write it properly as follows and say, obviously now you can just say 4 divided by 16. What is 4 divided by 16?
4.
Right, so you get a 4. Right, because when you say 4 divided by 1, when you say 1 divided by 4, you get a 0. And then you say 16 divided by 4, and then you get a 4 there. And then now you multiply 4 by 4, you get a 16. What is 16 minus 16?
10.
Right, you get a 0.
0.
So this observation, it's enough to say the answer. What is the answer? So the answer becomes what?
Use it.
Right, so obviously, yes. So it becomes 1, 1, 0, 4. Right, so that is what we're getting there. Okay, so yeah, that's exactly the answer to this question. So we have shown the steps. So this was the question. You have to divide by 4, and we have basically divided by 4 there. We have divided by 4 there. Right. Now, also, there are a couple of things you need to remember, like your flow diagrams. So for the exam, you need to remember your flow diagrams. How to deal with a flow diagram, okay? Because flow diagrams are extremely important. but very, very important. Like this one. The question is saying fill in the missing values A and B. We need to fill in A and B. What is A and what is B? 1 becomes 0.5. So 1 is like halved, isn't it? So you halve the 1, you get 0.5. You have 5 and now it be 5. Okay, so it goes through the half. So if you halve 1, you get 0.5. What about 5? If you halve it, what do you get? A is halved and becomes 3.5. What is A? Let's start with, yeah, okay. Yeah, anyone, A or B, which one can you get first? Are you able to see the question?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So which one between A and B can you be able to find first or to get first?
I think A.
You think A, okay, yeah. What do you think A is?
I think it is 3.
Okay, that's fine. Never mind. Right, so we are, okay, let's look at B. It's easy because you take the number 5 because this one is halved. 1 is halved and becomes 0.5. So 5 is halved. So you multiply by 0.5. Multiplying by 0.5 is like saying 5. 0.5 is like 1/2. If you divide 5 by 2, what is 5 divided by 2? 2 goes how many times into 5? 2 goes 2 times into 5. Remainder 1.
0,
Yeah, so it's 3.5, like that. Okay, so it means that B is equal to this. So this is equal to B. That is equal to B. B is 3.5 because you just take the 5 and multiply and then the answer becomes B. Here you start with A. So A, you halve A. So in other words, so you take A, you multiply by 0.5. The answer is 3.5. You get the point? So what is the answer?
So is it
How do you get A? In other words, you need to get A because A, we're multiplying it A times 0.5. The answer is 3, because these are the answers on the right of the flow diagram. Okay, so in other words, 5 goes through the flow diagram and becomes B. 1 went through the flow diagram and it became 0.5. A is multiplied by half and it's 3.5. What's the answer? What's the answer?
is it 1,5?
Okay, let's see quickly. Right, so to get this answer, you need to get the value of A. To get the value of A here, you need to divide. So you have A times 0.5 equals 3.5. You divide by 0.5. You divide by 0.5. So A equals. So you have 3.5. You divide by 0.5. In other words, you multiply. Now, because it's a comma here, you can multiply by 10. You multiply by 10 to move the decimal point once. It is possible to do that. So if you multiply the decimal point, because you're multiplying, it moves to the right, it shifts it to the right, giving us 35 over Right, this one, the decimal point is going to move one place because I'm multiplying by 10. It becomes 5,0. What is 35 divided by 5? 7. So which means A is what? A is 7. Okay, obviously I'm gonna send you this video. You're gonna watch the video, and now when you watch the video, you write down the notes, you know? You write down the notes so that you begin to follow there. So A is 7, and what is B? Right, A is 7, and we found that B is 2,5. So B is 2,5, and A is exactly equal to 7. So these things now, we are watching them. You need to write them during your own leisure and make sure they are written down. And make sure they're written down. Next question. The next question. All right, let me clean the board so that you can see very well. I don't want these things that we've written to distract your view. Right. I don't want your view to be distracted. Okay, let's look now at 5.4. Are you able to see question 5.4?
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you. I always confirm because you see, sometimes I can always assume that you can see the question when maybe not. Right, let's look at 5.4. Complete the table and fill in the missing values, C and D. What do you think C is and what do you think D is? Okay, look at this. Complete the table and fill in the values. The function is y equals to x plus 0,253. X is 1 and y is 2,253. X is 2 and this is 4,253. If x is the input, right, you have the input values and the output values. So the input is 1, 2, 5, C, 12. Then the output is, these are the output values. So now, what is C and what is D? Okay, let's start with C. What do you think C is? C is the input. So they've given us the output. The output is 18,253. What is the input? If the input is C, the output is 18,253. What is the input?
Is
Right. What is the input? And what is the output?
the output? I mean, is the input 7?
Okay, let's try and check together. So first you must write down the equation. Y is equal to twice x plus 0,253. The input is x. So now the input is x, which is C. So you put the input in the place of the input x, you put C plus 0,253. Then the output is 18,253. 3. So we just need to solve for C. How do we solve for C here? Right, so we're gonna take 18,253. You transpose the 0,2. If you transpose it, it becomes 253 is equal to twice C. Okay, so you subtract this one right now. Right, so 18 minus 0,253, this is like 253. So you're subtracting everything after decimal comma, and this is exactly 18. It's equal to twice C. Right, so at this pointer, you have twice C equals 18. You divide the left by 2 and the right by 2, which means C is equal to 9. C equals 9. So, which means at this pointer, you have C equals 9. C equals 9. Right, so obviously at this point, you get that. Next. Right. What is then the next question? What is D now? We found that C is 9, right? What is D?
I can't see the question.
Okay. Can I clean up?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine. Let me just clean up. Let me just clean up. Are you able to see the question now?
Can you move it a bit down?
Okay. Let me know if you can see it. Are you able to see it now?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay, thank you. Clearly. Should I move it down or up?
No, sir, it's fine.
Okay, thank you. Right, please let me know what you think then is D. We're looking for D. Let me know what D is. Right, I'm giving you like 2 minutes.
Is it 28,253?
Okay, let's check. Is it 28,253? How do we get the value of D? Right, let me just bring my writing stuff here. Right, as I said, I'm going to send a video. The video will always be of perfect view. Right, so Y, here is the relation. So you write this one. Y is equal to twice X plus 0,253. The input is X, and the input is X, and X therefore is 12. So in the place of X, you put what? 12 plus 0,253. What is 2 times 12? It's 24. Plus 0,253. What is 24 plus 0,253? It's 24,253. So that is the answer. So in other words, at this point, when you substitute the value here, you realize that the value of the output is Y and Y is D. Okay, so you have therefore that Y is D, which is 24,253. So D is what? D is exactly 24,253. Okay, so it's about input and output values. So now you need to realize at this point that your input is this here. At this point, your input is exactly 12 and the output is D. So the output is D and you put D. The input is 12. So the X is 12 here and therefore the output is D and you get the answer. All right. Next question. Okay, I'm gonna send a video. When I send a video, make sure you watch the video and take down notes. What are notes composed of? You need to write down the questions and the answers to the questions, so that now when you practice, you make sure that you repeat these questions. You can try the questions again to see if you can get the answers we got. Next question. Okay. I have more multiple choice questions that can be solved here. Multiple choice, write down the letter of the correct answer next to the question paper, question number. What is the name of the line segment that divides a circle into two equal parts?
Is it
A radius or the circumference or diameter or arc?
the diameter?
The diameter. Right, so well done. Because we're looking for the name of the line segment that divides a circle into two equal parts. So you have a circle like this, it's divided to two equal parts. And this line here has a special name. We call it the diameter. Diameter. Okay. Some of these questions are a bit more popular. A bit more popular. Let me see what I can give. Let me see what I can give. Right. I'm looking at what I can give here.
Didn't we do these ones?
Please come again.
Didn't we
Yeah.
do these questions?
Yes, that's the reason why I'm jumping them, you know. That's the reason why I jumped the ones we did. Right, so I jumped those because we went through those. Right. This we didn't do. Right, these we didn't do, as far as I can remember. Right, so this box, start the rectangular prism. So this is a rectangular prism and calculate its surface area. Right? We didn't do this one, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, because we did those, the others. I just could see that we did them. So yeah, it was not necessary to repeat. We don't quite repeat questions. We need to do new questions here. Right, so right. Okay, let's look at this one. Start with this. Sarah has a cube that has volume 125 cubic centimeters. Determine the length of each side of the cube. 2 marks. Your thoughts?
Is it 10 centimeters?
Okay. Right. That's an interesting point you're raising. Okay, what is a cube? Because this a cube has all sides equal. It looks like this, but all the sides are equal. Right, so you have that. Okay, if these sides are all equal, then it is called a cube. Determine the length of each side of the cube. Right.
10.
So in other words, now you need to use the volume because the volume is this. So you say V is 125. But it's a cube, so the volume formula for a cube is side cubed. It's 125. So now to get the answer, you must take the cube root. So you apply the cube root here on the left, and you apply the cube root on the what? On the right, which means S is equal to. What is the cube root of 125? The cube root of 125 means that you're looking for the number which you can multiply with itself 3 times to get 125. What number is that? 5 by 5 by 5. What is 5 by 5 by 5?
125.
Okay. Right, so we have exactly that. So then the question obviously has been, what is the length of each side of the cube? What is the length of each side of the cube? It's 5 centimeters. So here, the length of each side, you just write 5 centimeters. 5 what? Centimeters. Okay, determine the surface area of the cube. Right, determine the surface area of the cube. Let me know what the surface area is, please. Determine the surface area of the cube. Okay, I'm giving you like 3 minutes to do the surface area. What is the surface area? What is the surface area of the cube?
So I'm calculating.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, so let me know when you're done.
Almost done.
Okay.
So is the surface area 360?
Is it
Centimeters.
360? Let's check. Right, so the surface area is gonna be, right, so to calculate the surface area, you need to know the surface area. So we say surface area. How many faces does a cube have? Okay, all the sides are equal in a cube. So you have 6 faces, and then you have side squared. Each one is side squared. So you have 6 pi. What is the side now? Right, remember that we found that the side is what? The side is 5 centimeters. So you have the number 5 squared. What is 5 squared? 25. What is 6 times 25? 150. 150. 150 square centimeters. 150 square centimeters. Okay, that's the answer. So the formula for the surface area, it's this. But you need to learn that the volume of a cube, what is the volume of a cube? What is the formula for the volume of a cube? Is side cubed. Side cubed. Once again, a cube is different from this because all the sides are equal. But yeah. Okay, obviously this one did not quite do because we had to do the surface area and the volume of this. So yeah, I'm gonna return to that. Let me give you a homework. Okay, so 4.1 is your homework. I'm gonna send the video so you don't need to copy it down. Right, this is your home activity. When I send a video, you try 4.1, and then also you try this one is your home activity in this one. So those two here form part of your home what? Activity. Okay, but we're gonna meet tomorrow. We must meet tomorrow because tomorrow is what? It's Sunday. I'm planning that we meet at 4, okay, in the afternoon, so that you can go to church and whatnot. But advise me if the time is the right one for you. Okay, so you let me know if the time is suitable. Again, the time might not be suitable, so just let me know. All right, so what is your home activity? Is 4.1? So that is your home activity. Another home activity is this one here. And also this here, 4.2.3 and 4.2.4. And then we shall discuss this as well tomorrow. But I'm bringing more mathematics tomorrow. And I'm also bringing more term formats, more term for mathematics tomorrow. Okay.
Okay.
Right. So thanks a lot for today. I'm planning to see you tomorrow at 4 p.m. Let me know if the time is suitable. If not, you suggest to me a time that is going to be suitable. If by 4 you're going to be playing soccer, you let me know, okay, so I'm going to be playing soccer, I'm going to be playing rugby, and please, let's make the time 5 p.m. I will adjust the time. It's just that I'm suggesting the 4 because that is what is convenient with me. You understand? Right. So thanks a lot then. I will see you again tomorrow, and I'm sending the video in the next couple of minutes. Okay.
Okay, so
For now, goodbye, Lindsay.
okay.
Goodbye.
So-
Goodbye, Lindsay.